Hey guys, before we get started, the audio in today's video is not so great, just so you know before we get started. So one question we've been seeing a lot here on Yammie Noob is, Yammie, should I get a full system or a slip-on exhaust? And there's pros and cons to both, but today we're gonna be exploring the full bananas, full system exhaust. We're gonna see what it takes to install it, if it's worth it to get it, and most importantly, what kind of difference in sound and power you're gonna get out of a full system. Let's get into it today. Alrighty, Spikes, we've got this full system exhaust here. What's going on?
So as usual, we've got our Leo Vinci system here, and we're running this as if you were a beginner who decided to get their feet wet putting an exhaust on their motorcycle. They wanted a slip-on, but they look at their motorcycle and lo and behold, no slip-on options. So you had to drain your bank account, get yourself a full system exhaust. What is it going to be like to run the bike without the fuel controller?
A little blow up, right?
Well, we'll have to find out, and obviously, fuel controllers are expensive. They're an added cost, and a lot of times I see people just slap a full system on to see what happens. So today we're going to give you some actual scientific data. I mean, as much as we can while riding a motorcycle on the street.
Exactly. So today we're going to be installing this full system exhaust on our giveaway Z650 over here. This is one of the bikes we're giving away. It's part of a beginner bike giveaway series. If you want the chance to win this bike, head over to yammie.co or yammie.merch.com. Links in the description below, and get entered to win this beautiful machine. So Spike, let's get this thing on the road and see how it sounds.
Let's do it.
So bone stock exhaust on that Z650. How's it feel?
It feels fine. It feels like a stock bike, everything that you would expect. It's not too rowdy. It's actually very polite. Sure, you can hear the system, you know, burbling underneath you, but it's not very inspiring. You know, it's not, you rev it out and it doesn't make you feel any more excitement than just twisting the throttle. You know, there's no auditory feedback that really makes you feel excited about it.
I actually sense more intake sound from that bike than exhaust sound. Even from behind here, I hear the intake actually opening up much more than the exhaust itself.
Absolutely, yeah. You can really hear it honking in air, and it actually sounds a little bit funny the way it does it, because it actually sounds like it is honking.
Yeah.
But it literally sounds like a honking sound out of this motorcycle. It does have a little bit of an abrupt on-off throttle, which I would assume that means that the tune from the factory is probably very lean. So when we slap an exhaust system on there, I'd expect that to get worse until we tune it. But how about we pull over and get you in the saddle so you can tell us what you feel like?
Yeah, let me take a crack at it.
So hopping on the Z, how's it feel?
So yeah, just like you said, it's a very polite little motorcycle, even more so than some other factory bikes that I've ridden. I am curious to see how this is going to sound uncorked because, for example, the MT-07 platform has that 270-degree parallel twin, which sounds really different when you uncork it. So I think this is going to sound different because it's got that standard 180-degree firing order. But, you know, with it all corked up like this, it doesn't have a lot of character, you know, and that's what you want out of a motorcycle. You want it to, you know, pop and crackle a little bit, have some fun, and kind of like what you said, you get on the throttle and it's not particularly inspiring. So hopefully with that full system, we'll definitely add some pizzazz to this.
The one thing that I'm looking for out of the full system the most for that bike is probably just some sort of cool pops and crackles. That's really all I want out of it. Because I know it's not going to sound amazing like the MT-07 does, but if it has some pops and crackles, some attitude, that'll really improve the riding experience because it feels so muted and so plain as it is right now.
Yeah. Well, nothing to it but to do it. Let's slap a full system on this bad boy. Alrighty, Spike, we came back at the baseline sound. You want to improve it?
Absolutely. Let's get that full system on there.
It's montage time. Alrighty guys, we've we've removed our stock system on our Z650, and you can see it's this big behemoth over here. It's got this resonator on it, and the big reason why it's so big is to meet emissions and sound compliance and all that sort of thing. And now we're moving on to this lighter system over there.
Yeah, and not only is this thing a smaller system, but it's substantially lighter. This thing weighed almost 18 pounds on the scale, and this was so light it didn't trip it, which means it's under 10 pounds, which is really awesome. That's a lot of weight we're removing from this motorcycle, and it's gonna sound really good. We put a system similar to this on the XSR 700, and it sounded just, oh, it sounded so good.
Yeah.
I'm not imagining that this is going to sound amazing because it's the 180-degree crank, but it is going to sound way better. Yeah, sounds really good. Sounds beefy, growly, but there's only one way to hear how it really sounds. Let's get it out on the road.
See on the boil. Alrighty, boys and girls, we are out now on the road testing our new Z650's exhaust. But I did want to shout out our sponsor for today's video, Rockform. So you guys probably know, we've mentioned it many times, Rockform makes one of the best phone mounts for your bike, but they also make a whole bunch of other cool stuff too for, you know, bicycles, motorcycles, cars, anywhere you can put a perch on something and you can mount something to something else, they've probably got you covered. So hit the link down below and check out everything they've got on offer. I believe Spite's got his phone on the Z650 right now, right, Spite?
Yep, I got my phone on my Rockform case and mount here. It's feeling pretty solid. I've got one on my own bike, so I use it all the time and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, so hit that link down below, check them out. Thanks again for them for supporting this video. And now let's check out how this Z650 exhaust feels and sounds. Spite, how you feeling on it, dude?
Honestly, it feels really good, and I can't tell if it's just butt dyno effect, like the auditory feedback is just making me a little bit more excited to ride the motorcycle, but it definitely feels a lot punchier. There's a bit more grunt right off the jump, which is pretty good. I mean, this bike already was surprisingly torquey for a 650, and now it feels even torqueier, which is great.
Yeah, and you were saying on the way up here that you can kind of feel that weight difference, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's in my brain or not, but the bike feels a lot lighter. It feels like it's tipping in a little bit quicker. It's a little bit more nimble. It feels really good, honestly, even without the tune.
Yeah, and I bet with the tune and perhaps by removing that baffle as well, that thing's going to sound even better. So I'm really excited to, oh, hey, but how about we don't come out on the road?
Yeah, that was a little scary.
So yeah, I'm sure once we get the baffle out and put the tune on, I'm sure it's going to sound even better.
Yeah, I mean, the idea here was to get a little bit more noise, a little bit more power, and we definitely feel like we've done that. You know, obviously you don't want to just run out and get a full system and not get a tune for it. You definitely need to, but right now it feels like this bike is happy enough running with the stock tune on here. It does feel a little bit more herky-jerky when you do the on-off throttle, especially in first gear. Here in third, it's not that bad.
Yeah, and from here, you know, riding behind you and, you know, trying to listen into that exhaust, it doesn't sound obnoxious at all, you know? It sounds like you've got a bit of a system on it, but it doesn't sound overbearing.
And I actually really like that. I've come to realize that in my day-to-day riding, I don't want a big, loud system. I want something subtle, something that's, you know, going to, when I get on the gas, I'm going to notice it, but when I'm off the gas and I'm kind of at a stoplight, just chilling out, it's not, you know, splitting my ears and irritating everybody around me.
Yeah. Well, what do you say I flip a leg over that thing and see how it sounds from my perspective?
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Yeah, see what you mean. It does feel a little livelier.
Yeah, just a little bit more peppy, like it's not a commuter's motorcycle anymore, like it's actually wanting to go have some fun.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Good sound out of it. I do feel like it's a little bit more vibrational through the seat. What do you think? I said, I do feel like it's a little more vibrational through the seat. What do you think?
I didn't really notice that, to be honest. I think I was more just having fun on the bike, so I didn't notice it. But, you know, who knows? That bike is very vibrational.
Yeah.
It's just a big parallel twin. Those are not very smooth power plants, so.
And it's funny because you can see on the foot pegs that Kawi knows it because they put little weights on the bottom of the pegs.
Yeah, and the little rubber mounts on there are squishy as hell, so you can really feel it absorbing it through the foot peg.
It's very mild-mannered. I think once we get the baffle out on this thing and get the tune, I think we'll really make it super rowdy. But right now, it's super chill, honestly.
Let me know, go through this section in first gear and kind of roll on and off the throttle. Let me know what you feel.
It's not terrible, but it could definitely be a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, that bike was very herky-jerky on-off before.
Yeah, I'd say full system on the Z6 success. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's improved the sound, it's improved the feel of riding the motorcycle. And in a world where you can't put a slip-on exhaust on that bike, it really, I mean, you could do a whole lot worse. You could be keeping that same boat anchor of a stock exhaust.
Well, guys, next episode we will be installing a fuel controller on this bike and taking the baffle out and seeing how it feels after doing that and seeing if we've made some good gains on this machine. But if you want to win this motorcycle, be sure to go over to yammie.co and you can get signed up for it to win. And go to the merch page as well. We'll catch you on the next one. See you later.
Keep watching Yammie Noob. 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 Keep watching Yammie Noob.